Hello, people. My thighs and glutes hurt a lot from yesterday. Yesterday. Why am I struggling so much? Yesterday, Lord. I don't know, it feels like it was so long ago. I guess today was just a long day. In the morning, they were fine, but over time, they kicked in, and now, top of my thighs and my glutes from running downhill on stone really started to hurt. So it was fine. I had pizza for dinner. Gonna have leftover pizza for breakfast tomorrow. Not much really happened. Drove to the store, so that was it. Pretty cool clouds tonight. So, why do people like IShowSpeed? I mean, I get how, I wouldn't say great minds think alike, but rather lack thereof think alike. Because first of all, he's just idiotic. He is legitimately uneducated. Second of all, he's insane. He causes problems everywhere he goes and messes with people and doesn't respect anyone's culture. And I'm basically a monkey, both insultingly, not that I would call him that insultingly, but in terms of intelligence and how he acts, he barks at people and crosses his eyes and crap. So he basically acts like a chimpanzee. And then if he somehow manages to combine his two little brain cells together for just a moment and goes, oh, person with long grown out hair, a bunch of clothes, and a shopping cart full with trash. You're homeless? I think, just point at the most blatantly obvious person who's in dire need of help and say, oh my God, and give him $50. And then the internet will praise him saying like, IShowSpeed gives a generous person or whatever, but act like he's Jesus Christ blessing someone. Like, bro, if you had $12 million and you walked by someone who, not even homeless, but you walked by someone who is in a village which is a lot of poverty in it, and there's a child begging on the street, you wouldn't give him some money at least? He's just an imbecile. And then he just doesn't understand the most basic of things. He does a bunch of dumb crap. But of course, that's why he has so many followers, because people like watching and following people like themselves. So naturally, an idiot would follow him. And then people play it off as, oh, he's so spontaneous and funny. No, he's just an idiot. Come on. Also, I was thinking about relationships, and I was a little confused. People say, ooh, muscular women are gross. And I don't really understand that. Someone who works out and is dedicated to being healthy is gross. I guess because they want their woman to be, feminine, which I suppose is fair, but I don't know. Everyone has their preferences. I guess that's just a preference. But I feel like the more dedicated and physically capable you are, the better. Typically that's shown through muscles. Well, not just muscles, of course, but stamina, muscles, flexibility, all the aspects of physical capability. And someone who doesn't desire that is, I would say, it's illogical. I'm not sure I really can, because that's just one aspect. There's so many things you look for in partners. Some people have low standards. Some people desire one trait and only one trait and don't care about anything else they have. But I feel like if you're going for someone and you have the option between someone slightly more conventionally attractive or someone significantly more physically capable, they have muscle, they have endurance, they have flexibility, but the other guy, he's got a wolf cut and he's blonde with blue eyes. I mean, I do get the aspect. Okay, one sec. All right. So yeah, I do get the aspect of wanting to be attractive. Of course, the more, of course, it's preference. I don't really understand attraction, how certain features can trigger dopamine. But the more attracted you are, the better. It makes you happier. Someone hideously repulsive, no matter how good friends you are with them, no matter how great their personality is, if they are that physically unattractive to where it's uncomfortable being around them, if you can get past that, then God bless your heart. I don't know how you manage to do that. I could not be with someone like that, because it's the thing that triggers disgust in my mind. If someone is that unattractive, and if someone's just like neutral and their personality doesn't affect how I see them, even though it should, but like if I see them as just like mediocre, I wouldn't necessarily want to be with them, because I would like to see my partner, the person I'm going to spend my entire life with, as beautiful, not just all right. And every time I say you're beautiful, I don't want to be lying. So yeah, getting with someone more attractive makes sense. And I guess one logical side of it, which is probably the best argument for it, is that someone attractive can always work out, but someone unattractive and muscular can't just make themselves attractive. They're not going to do plastic surgery. They could, you never know, but unlikely. So I guess if you cared, then you just find someone attractive and get them working out with you, and obviously having a work at one sec. All right, so yeah, the aspect of having a person to work out with is obviously a very good thing. Having a workout buddy, I mean, obviously you can have that like just for maintenance. If someone is already strong, you work out consistently to keep that form. Gives you something to do and keeps you in shape and keeps you healthy. But yeah, making someone attractive who isn't very physically capable, and then making them physically capable, is a good thing. Now, if they're lanky and weak because they're just lazy, then you might have something on your hands. If they just haven't done it yet, sure, whatever. But if they're super unmotivated and not willing to change, then I would take the more physically capable person over the more attractive but more lazy person. Because I'm not one to say I don't care about looks. I definitely do. And I'm not going to say people should care. It all depends on the person. Like, I'm sure some people legitimately do not care what their partner looks like at all. For me, it's just about how it affects me. Like, I don't care how you look. If I was attracted to hideous people, like conventionally, and everyone around me thought my girlfriend was hideous, but I liked her, then I'd be fine with that. But if she doesn't make me comfortable and I don't consider her beautiful, then that's not really ideal, is it? Which also, one thing I've noticed is, like, actually two things. One of them I mentioned before, but I'm pretty sure a lot of content creators, obviously there's a lot of lazy content creators who get views for doing lazy crap because people's attention spans are completely destroyed. But I feel like a lot of them, both male and female, well, I'm not gonna say I know a lot of them, both male and female, just get followers because they're attractive. For the guys, it's the teenage girls simping over shirtless guys like Brent Rivera, and for the other side, vice versa, it's just any attractive woman doing literally anything at all, just existing. She'll get tons of views and likes and followers. Then again, obviously there's the stupidity. There's kind of a follow-up thing to that. It's like two follow-ups. It's first, okay, you got a lot of followers, but also all the people following you, they aren't following you because you're skilled. They're following you because they want to see your body. So you don't really have actual... They don't care, obviously, because they're making money off of getting views. That's all they care about, which is fine. That makes sense. It's like an extremely toned-down version of OnlyFans. You just have to be attractive and you get money. Which... well, crap, I've never thought about that. Those people literally just have to be attractive. And as long as they make videos that aren't hideously annoying, they get money from it. So that's kind of a cheat code. But anyways, yeah, aside from their fan base being bad, I completely forgot what what was the second follow-up to that? I forgot what the second follow-up was going to be. Oh well, too bad I can't rewind my memory. But the thing I was going to say, in addition to that, is... oh yeah, wait. No, I don't know. But there is the aspect of attractive people who either wear revealing clothing or flirt or do anything to make themselves more attractive, particularly to the opposite sex. You think like, oh, well, then you're going to get a bunch of, people who just want you for your body. Well, I mean, clearly, you think those people who intentionally make themselves look more attractive, not just to the point of looking good, but to the point of being objectified, you think they care? They just want power. I don't know. I'm not in that mindset. That's one of those few mindsets I really struggle to get into. I couldn't think of the mind of someone who objectifies themselves just to control a bunch of simps. That's just odd. I wouldn't want to be around anyone who has a very uncontrollable lust for the opposite sex just because of their body or because of their face. Well, I guess their face is their body. But yeah, having a lust over someone for their physical attributes, completely ignoring what kind of person they are, especially when they're a bad person. If someone obsesses over someone knowing they're a bad person, that's just on another level. But if you obsess over someone and don't care what they're like, then it's just not the kind of person I want to be around. And I guess there's not that valid of a logical reason for it. Like, it's not that they're a jerk or anything, but I don't know. I feel like someone who is immediately compelled to someone because of their physical attributes without getting to know them already dedicates a lot to them. That's just a little odd. And it obviously depends how much. Like, you have people who go, oh, this person's cute, I'll follow them, which is like, that's a little weird, but okay, whatever, I guess. Eye candy. Just looking at them makes you happier, sure, whatever. Same way I imagine scenarios in my head makes me happier. But then you have the people who just see a very attractive person and then full simp over them. That's when it's like, okay, you're putting a ton of effort and time and honestly reputation into getting this person to notice you just because they're attractive. That's a little strange. Especially, primarily, if they're a bad person. If you're ignoring the fact that they're a bad person just because they're attractive, then in that case, you just have problems. Bad people should be avoided regardless of how beautiful they are. They can be the most stunning person you've ever seen, who knocks you unconscious just from glancing in their direction. But if they're a bad person, avoid them. And honestly, that's, of course, personality affects how you see people. If I saw someone who was conventionally attractive, but I knew they were a horrible person, they constantly abuse people, I wouldn't be attracted to them because, of course, attraction isn't just physical. You could look at someone and sure, they have features that, for whatever reason, trigger your dopamine receptors and all that stuff. I don't know how physical attraction works and why people have different preferences, but even if they trigger those dopamine receptors, you still tie in the aspect of you consciously or subconsciously know they're a bad person, which kind of shuts those down, tells your brain, they're not a good mate, they're bad, they're a bad person, bad, not good. So the stronger that is, the more it can repel you. Or really, I know, it doesn't matter what their looks are like. Like, for instance, Jack Doherty, I don't really know, Jack Doherty, I don't know how to say his name exactly, but, first of all, he's a guy, so I'm not attracted to him, obviously. But then he's not really that attractive in the first place. And then he's also a terrible person. So it just kind of builds up. If I saw him in public and I didn't know who he was, and he looked fine, he looked nice, I'd see him in a better light. But knowing how terrible of a person he is, I look at him and go, ugh, like I Show Speed. Or any bad person at all. And obviously you have the inverse. Someone could be not that attractive, and it's like, okay, yep. If you don't talk to them, you just glance over. If you think about it for whatever reason, you go, oh, they're not that attractive. I don't know why you would intentionally have that thought after looking at someone. That's kind of strange. But even if it's a subconscious thought, if you saw them being very generous, you could be more attracted because the physical aspect is going, we don't need that much dopamine. They're not that physically attractive. But then the side of you that knows how great of a person they are goes, yeah, they're amazing, which boosts that up. So it's like a combine. And obviously it's not just personality and physical attributes that attribute, ironic, to those things. There's many other aspects, but those are the primary ones in this regard. So I guess the takeaway from this is just, though obvious, don't go to bad people. Bad people are bad. Especially if they act nice too. That's another thing. If they're bad, I know one in my personal life, but if they are a bad person, terrible person, but they act nice just to seem like a nice person, then they're even worse. Because then they're deceiving. Or even if, well, okay, now desires and actions are weird. Even if someone didn't do anything bad, but they want to, then that's more of a thing you have to decide on. That's a fully dependent situation. And obviously you can't just say someone is bad or someone is good. And you can't just gauge them. There's not a goodness scale. Obviously all this is heavily generalized, pretending that people are just either good looking or bad looking and they're good or bad. That's obviously completely unrealistic. But in general, it applies. Bad people should be avoided. Good people shouldn't. And that's one of the many reasons you shouldn't pretend to be someone you aren't. You naturally repel from people who you wouldn't be with. And obviously there's a whole peer pressure thing. Like, God, it's weird because I try to give advice, but it's already an obvious thing. So it's like, what level do I take it to? Because I was going to say, oh yeah, you wouldn't be around people who smoked if you didn't act like you liked smoking, because they'd go, oh, you're lame, you don't like smoking, and they'd avoid you naturally. But then obviously you shouldn't smoke because it's a bad thing to do. But then obviously you shouldn't try to fit in with people who like smoking, so you wouldn't be doing that in the first place. But people do that. So there's many stupid steps to it, and it's kind of hard to think like, okay, what level of obviousness do I bring this back to? But if it's something like, well, it depends. Like if someone, bunch of cool people who are actually cool but are into completely different things than you can get into those things with them if you want to just hang around them because they're nice people, and you can learn those things. It's fine, even if you didn't before. But if it's anything negative, no. And if they're like, yeah, you can adapt, I suppose, but no. Well, God, it's fully dependent. Like you have one side which is, oh, they love shopping and they're super optimistic and they're super outgoing and I'm just an introvert. You shouldn't pretend to be an extrovert to get with them, because then you'll be in situations you're uncomfortable with. But you could also just try, doing that so you become more an extrovert. You can be around people you want to be like, obviously influences. But then there's, oh, she's cute, I'm going to pretend to like what she likes. Okay, well, no, then you're just doing it because you like her for her body, and then that's just not a good thing. You've noticed a recurring thing most likely throughout this, which is that purely being attracted to someone due to their body, ignoring other aspects of them, or even recognizing but bypassing other aspects of them, is a bad thing. You shouldn't try to work around people just to get to their physical side, which is just weird. It's just, like, unfortunately, many relationships are like that nowadays. It's quite strange, really. I would never, that's another thing, like, me personally, I would never be with a woman whose idea of a romantic date is the guy being very suave and smooth and contained and fancy, and every moment making sure he looks good and never slips up even for a moment, doesn't do anything even slightly embarrassing, and everything is kept very nice and no. That's forced. So if I pretended to be like that kind of person, and I tried to get with the woman just because I thought she was cute and nice, so I tried being that kind of person who thinks romance is, all about being suave, then I wouldn't be me. And then I'd be pretending to be someone else. It's like infiltrating an enemy base. You're pretending to be an enemy to get into the enemy base, but do you want to be in the enemy base? You don't want to be there. If you're going to gather intelligence, sure, but in the dating scene, pretending to be someone who isn't you to get with someone else is a bad idea, because then you're with someone that doesn't like you. They like someone you're pretending to be. So unless you're willing to change to be that person, hopefully for the better, not to get with them for a night, then you shouldn't pretend to be someone else. So if I'm just being me, those kind of people, like, I wouldn't want to like someone and think, I'm attracted to them, and then go on a date and then their idea is the guy being smooth and suave and never slipping up, because then that'd be bad, because I don't want to be that kind of guy. So by being me, those kind of people are naturally going to be less attracted to me, because they know, oh, he kind of acts more artistic and he's not like that kind of person. So just by being yourself, which you should do regardless for the obvious reasons, you'll naturally repel from people who don't like you. If people don't like you for who you are, and you pretend to be someone else, then they won't realize who you really are. Like, let's say you were into Pokemon, but there was a group of people who absolutely despised Pokemon fans. If you pretended to not like them, then you're just hanging around people who literally hate you, but they don't know it, because they don't know who you really are. And you're having to pretend to fit along with them. And that's just stupid. Every aspect of that is stupid. And typically, it's just so you look cooler, or you get to be around the cool kids, which shouldn't be a priority in life. So you should obviously just be yourself. And then you'll go into groups with people who do like Pokemon. And the one big part of it is really just how hard it is to find people. Notice a lot of people give them like, oh, no one likes this, or oh, no one likes me, they're just not into my type, and it's impossible to, okay. So sure, you can change your type to fit in better if you'd like, but just masking yourself, no. So don't change for the worse, change for the better, and don't pretend to be someone else if you're not willing to change. Pretending is, hint, hint, I'll give you a second to think. Ready? Guess what pretending is? It's starts with an L, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters. Starts with an L, ends with a G. Ready? Lying. Pretending is lying. You're lying to them about who they are. Lying is bad, by the way. If you didn't know that, then, well, there's many reasons you might not know that. You could be new to general concepts of civilization. You could be young. You could be, I don't know, a psychopath. But yeah, lying is a bad thing. If you didn't know that, well, now you do. And you shouldn't pretend, because that's lying. I mean, of the many reasons, of course, that's just one of them. That's the general reason. But, you naturally repel people who aren't like you. I mean, do people actually want to be around people who aren't like them? If I could find a group of people who are just like me, I would love that. Like, that's one reason I find it quite unfortunate that the one person of the past 5 I've had the numbers of, many of which who abandoned me or pretty much never talked to me. The one person currently who's stuck around, Milan, she is like the opposite of me. And that's unfortunate. We have different personalities and different interests. We act differently. We have different goals. So we don't really get along that well. And whenever she's with her friend Jasmine, which is the 2 times I've ever seen her in person, at the work event and at the other work event, because, my mom's coworker she's my mom's coworker's daughter, so work related. But so is Jasmine, another one of my mom's coworker's daughters, and they get along better because they're more similar and they have similar interests. So when they're around, I'm just typically third wheeling, and that's not fun. If she was into the things I liked and she had more of my personality, we would get along 1,000 times better. So pretending to be someone else to get with people, obviously that's not intentional. She just happened to be the one I talked to because she was next to me. So that's unfortunate. I'm not saying she's a bad person, of course. She's her own person, but we just don't bond that well. So if I was around someone else that I bonded better with, that'd be better, because then I'd have more in common, and then we could do things more, and we would both enjoy each other's presence. And honestly, I don't even know if she likes being around me. It's hard to tell because of how nonchalant she acts. For all I know, she hates me being around and just pretends and humors me. Pretending, of course, lying. I don't think she does, but it's really hard to tell. And I don't like people who make it hard to tell. I like people who are straightforward. So there's just many things about her that I do not fit with. And it's not like I'm trying to fit with her because I want to be with the cool kids. It's just that I'm trying to fit with her because she's literally the only person I know. So it obviously depends on your situation, why you're trying to fit in with a group. If it's because they're your only friend and you might not meet someone else for who knows how long, then fine. But if it's just because, of the many options, they're cool and they're seen as cool, well, guess what? The majority of people who see cool people as cool are also idiots, because, the majority of people aren't very smart and have bad views of the world. So if you're trying to blend in with all the people who are bad, guess what? You're going to become bad. I know, newsflash. So you kind of got to avoid the bad people, fit in with the good people by being good, because being good is a good thing. And then the good people will accept you, and you'll be with the good people, and they'll have a good influence on you, and you'll have a good influence on them, and you'll all go together. And then you could ignore all the Babylonians who are bad and try to weave past them in life and potentially even help them and influence them to be a good person. I mean, I'm talking in like the most basic, trivial things. Good stuff is good, bad stuff is bad. But really, that applies to so many aspects in life, and you just have to think about it to realize. Like influences or the friend groups. Yeah, bad friends are bad, good friends are good. Being seen by bad people as good means you're bad. That's one thing a lot of people don't seem to understand. You want to be seen as a hero of people who are idiotic. Like imagine there was 1,000 or 1,000,000, as many people as you want. An entire planet with quadrillions of people on it. And they all had horrible views. They were all Satanists. They all wanted people to die. They all were completely evil. Would you want to fit into them just to be seen as cool by them? Would you want to be praised by those people? Who do you want to be praised by? Well, you shouldn't want to be praised by anyone, really. But who do you want to be supported by? Who do you want to be surrounded by? Who do you want to be acknowledged and accepted by? The majority of idiots or the good people? And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be accepted by the idiots. If I were to live my life in a way that evil people loved, I would be very ashamed of myself, and I'd find it unfortunate, and I would try to change, because clearly whatever I'm doing to make evil people like me is bad. So I would try to change to be better. I mean, I'm doing that in the first place. I'm just trying to be good, not because of other people, but because being good is a good thing. I've said this so many times because it's just that obvious and people don't understand it. Being good is good. And some people will even try to logically oppose you, saying you gotta trample other people in your way to get to the top. Well, my goal isn't to get to the top. Yours may be, but that's selfish. And you're relying on the few years you have in this world before you die, and none of it was worth it. So I'm just gonna be a good person and spread the word of God and try to influence others in a positive way. My goals in life are to have a stable life in general. So like, I'm happy and have good finances and backup money, to have a partner, and to spread positivity both through Christ and through influencing people. Because I would like my lasting impact to it's contagious. Obviously. If every single good person in this world just kept to themselves and died alone, then the bad would just spread and spread and spread, and then the world would be completely evil. Which is obviously a bad thing. Bad stuff is bad. I know. I've said it again, but I'll say it a gajillion more times. But bad stuff is bad. So, yeah. All in all, you really just gotta be a good person. Don't fake. Change for the better. Influence others around you positively. I mean, even, like, if you go to my channel, the banner says stuff and that stuff, too. Always strive for improvement. I can't remember the exact words, but, There's a cat. You think you can be around my house? Get out of here. I was trying to hang around my crib. That ain't loud. But yeah, try to be a good person. Influence others around you in a good way. Don't pretend to be someone else. Again, change for the better as much as you possibly can every single day. Boost yourself. Be a good person. And don't be a good person because you want to look good or because you want to feel good about yourself. Be a good person because being good is good. Honestly, that's a quote people should remember. Good is good, bad is bad. A lot of quotes can be reworded to say that, because that's really just the truth. Good, good, bad, bad. That's lovely. Honestly, I want to make a shirt that says that. Good equal good, bad equal bad. Because people just don't understand. But oh well. Yeah, that's life. Again, world will never be perfect at all. So, gotta do what you can. And even if it amounts to absolutely nothing, at least you tried, and at least you were a good person. If you didn't try, then, well, what the heck? What were you doing? Gambling? Being evil? Making money before you die and end up either in the center of the earth or in heaven, and all of your money is now passed down to a bunch of other evil, selfish people who want money. Yeah, so please be a good person. Influence others positively. Improve yourself constantly. And hopefully you should live a better life if you do that. So, as always, God bless you. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed. And adios, mi amigos and amigos.